The Mike Show presents Test Drive Interviews, brought to you by Billy Craft Honda in Lynchburg. And it's Paul.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
Doing wonderfully.
Test drive interview again?
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
This is, I think this is 31.
31.
Good Lord.
Crazy. That's
Yes.
crazy. So today we're going to test drive the Honda CR-V 2019. And I'm here to say we've got a couple of these left, probably a dozen or so, that we're trying to push before the 2020s come in.
Okay.
And it's been hot the last couple of weeks, 100 plus. And some of the things that have we've been able to show people through the CR-V is how you can cool down your car very quickly. So I want to show you that. The first thing is when we unlock the doors and then we hold the unlock button down, you can see all the windows come down.
Nice.
And the sunroof opens. And what that does is that lets the air out prior to that. You can also then remote start it by locking the door and then holding your remote start button, and it stops, and then all that hot air then gets pushed out the
Very
back
cool.
of the doors. Yeah. The thing that I like about the CR-V is that it sits 30 inches off the ground. So elderly people or people that maybe have a little problem with their hips or legs, it's just easy to slide in, and then when you get out, you slide out. So you're not having to pull yourself out of a vehicle or drop down into a vehicle like you would if you got a sedan. The other thing is the back door. As I open this, most of them will come about this wide, but the CR-V actually opens full 90 degrees.
Nice.
So now what you can do is you can actually get your car seats from your grandkids or your kids in and out, or put stuff in without having to kind of twist it and turn it at some kind of angles and so forth. So the CR-V is ideal for carrying storage, whether we want to put it in the back, put it in the side. As it opens here, you can see that this folds in, and then you can drop this to add a little bit more height if you want to carry something, or if you want to drop the seats, simply just pull the lever.
Okay.
And the seats will fold down, both of them will fold down to an even drop. So it makes it unique for carrying stuff and people, and that's why it's our top seller, is the CR-V.
Tom Gerdy joining us. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you along. We're going to be talking with you about Habitat for Humanity.
Excited to spend some time with you.
Absolutely. Let's take a ride. And Tom,
First things first.
Oh, first things first?
I've been told Paul's not the greatest driver, and so I wanted to make sure I was
Put your helmet on,
got my hard hat on just in case.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, a little faux pas here.
You know, I think the best thing about that helmet is he can also dust the headliner with it. Look at that. Can you get the sunroof a little bit? There we go.
Yeah, there's some fingerprints there I got. Okay. We're good now, and I'm safe at the same time. That's why I brought it.
Tom Gerdy joining us, and he's working with Habitat for Humanity here locally in Lynchburg. And you guys have an event that's coming up.
We're pretty excited. We're bringing in a couple comedians to the Academy as a fundraiser for Habitat. There's a lot of work still needs to be done in Lynchburg relative to people living in substandard housing, and Habitat's figured out a great way to help solve that problem by having people participate in building their own homes. And that is how they are able to qualify to buy a Habitat home, which they do buy. They have a mortgage like anyone else. But Habitat allows them to work off a down payment by actually working on some Habitat houses or volunteering at the Restore. So it's a wonderful program that figured out that people have to be vested to appreciate what they're going to get in the way of a benefit. And housing changes lives, and Habitat's changing a lot of lives in Lynchburg.
Tell us about the performers that are going to be at this benefit.
Well, we're bringing in two people that have toured the country entertaining. One is a stand-up comic out of New York City named Tony Deo.
Okay.
Tony's a friend of mine, and he was a middle school teacher and realized that he really didn't like teenagers that much. So he decided that he better come up with some other profession.
Yeah, really.
For 2 years, he went to open mic nights and went to a school for stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Didn't tell anybody about it for 2 full years.
Wow.
And then, other than his wife, and then finally he was ready to, I guess, unveil his new profession. And got to see him perform and really liked him. And a few years later, now he's touring the country. He's been on Conan. He's been on Craig Ferguson's show and at the Aspen Comedy Festival and all over the country as a headliner doing stand-up comedy.
Very nice. And who's your other performer?
The headliner for this event's going to be Cheryl Wheeler.
Okay.
Cheryl is a folk singer / comedian and very prolific songwriter. She has had her songs recorded by Garth Brooks, by Bette Midler, by Kenny Loggins, and for us older guys, Peter, Paul, and Mary and Melanie have actually recorded some of her songs. So we're really excited, and she tells a story about with every song that will have you laughing from the story, and then some of the songs are so moving that you'll end up tearing up a little bit from the tales she tells through her songwriting.
Nice. When is the event?
It's September 13th at the Academy.
Okay.
And it'll be from 8 to 10, and there's tickets available already right now. And we're really excited about it because we've gotten sponsors for the event, so every ticket that comes in from, or every dollar that comes in from ticket sales will go directly towards building more homes and helping people build and buy their homes in Lynchburg. Paul has done so far a pretty good job.
Thanks.
Paul, thank you.
He really has. I mean,
we haven't hit anything.
No.
That's right.
Well,
Great.
And he hasn't taken his hands off the wheel once. Oh,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
he
well,
just
I
did.
was
Yeah.
a little nervous about that, but
Let me put my whoa.
Yeah.
Put your helmet back on, Tom.
Okay, Paul. Come on, Paul.
lane keep assist,
I've heard-
There it is.
working here. Yeah,
I've
there we
heard
go.
about self-driving cars, but I don't want to be a test dummy here.
Oh no! This I'm the dummy in the back seat. Paul is magnificent at driving with whilst talking with his hands.
Yeah, that's right. All right. We try to really make sure we're communicating because the lane keep assist in the Honda CR-V is working. Once you're up above 45 or faster, the camera that's up here above the rear mirror will actually kick in. It'll read the lines on the road and it'll keep you between the navigable beacons, I guess. But yeah, the good thing about this CR-V is that if Tom wanted to drive this vehicle, then yeah, he could do the same thing. Just
Where's the wheel on my side?
It's an imaginary wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Your involvement with Habitat for Humanity. How long have you been doing this?
I was asked to help with the very first house that was built in Lynchburg back in the late 80s, over 30 years ago. And I realized after working on that very first home in Lynchburg that was a place for me.
Cool.
Plus, I couldn't correct my slice and I was breaking too many windows golfing, so I needed a new hobby. And the Habitat was just right for me. My carpentry skills, as well as my ability to work with volunteers, has worked out well for us.
Very cool.
And now Habitat in Lynchburg has really clicked, and they've built over 300 houses in 30 years.
That's fantastic.
Pretty exciting. And this little burg really has stepped up, and they're making a difference every day and changing lives every day.
Do you need more volunteers?
There's always room for more volunteers, and even if you don't have trade skills, there's plenty of places and ways you can help. And if you want to learn about construction, there's a lot of the regular weekly volunteers that will help you and teach you about building. So it's also a way to pick up maybe a little bit of skill to maybe work on your own home.
Very cool. How do folks get in touch with Habitat and learn more?
The office is down on Allegheny Ave, and you can call the office and find out what their schedule is, their work schedule, and when they have houses that are being worked on, and you'll be welcome with open arms.
So Paul,
Yes.
tell us about this ride. This one is what, one of the 2019s?
Yeah, this is a 19 Honda CR-V, which is a top seller, still the top selling SUV out of any class. And the thing I like best about this thing is it just drives so nice. You're sitting pretty high as you're driving. We do have our lane keep assist on, and so as I'm driving, you can see that the vehicle is staying between the lines without me having to use the steering wheel and so forth. Even around a bend, we would be able to do that. You take your hands off for about 30 seconds, and then it tells you, hey, steering is required. You have to grab it at that point. And so you grab the steering wheel, the sensor kicks in, and then it goes back to the sensing. So if I change lanes without a signal like I'm going to do now, you'll see that it's kind of a fight and it tries to pull you back. But once I give a signal to change lanes, then that sensor goes away, and so it helps with not changing lanes without a signal so that you can see if somebody's in your blind spot. So
very, very cool. And we've talked about this just about every test drive interview. I'm going to be so curious to see over the next 10 years how this impacts the injuries and fatalities in automobiles.
Yeah, after a customer buys a CRV from us, we usually, on their behalf, call their insurance company and tell them, hey, the Honda sensing features are in this CRV, and undoubtedly everybody always calls us back and say, well, I got our premium for our insurance bill and our bill dropped tremendously. So
awesome. These
safety features are a big deal, and when you're considering a new vehicle. And now that you have a loyalty program in a Hondas, you've got options of where you can get great incentives on what we're looking at in these CRVs. We haven't seen incentives in the CRVs because there's a top seller, but now we do. We have it. So you know, we are locking down the 2019s, 2020s will be on their way, and that's just, it's going to be the same vehicle, just a added increase in price. So if you're in the market looking for a CRV or an SUV, come by and see me. Let me make you a heck of a deal. Would love an opportunity to work with you.
All right, and folks can reach you how?
Facebook or cell phone number 455-5246 directly. But send me an instant message. I've gotten several instant messages since we've been doing test drive interviews for people that are coming in and wanting just a test drive to see all the features that we've been talking about.
Very, very cool. Tom, when you're riding on down the road, what do you like to jam out to? What's your favorite jam out song?
Well,
or band?
Being a Hokie, of course, Metallica's up there.
Okay.
Enter Sandman is up there, but
nice.
I'm an old hardcore rock and roll from the 70s, and still like the Doobie Brothers, and of course you can't go wrong with any of the old Beatles stuff. And rock and roll is what it's about. It's about passion. It's about excitement.
Well, we're rocking and rolling in this Honda. Well, we want to thank Billy Craft Honda for sponsoring test drive interviews. Check them out at their brand new location. They're on Lakeside Drive. Everything is under one roof. You've got sales, you've got service, you've got parts, you've got literally everything under one roof, and it's beautiful. It is a beautiful dealership inside and out. So come check it out. You've got great inventory. All the vehicles are on one lot now.
Yes, it's so much easier. We're not having to say, hey, sit real tight, let me go get a vehicle. No, we just walk outside, or the showroom is so much easier. We have just about every vehicle in the showroom now, so we can demo and walk through people, accessories, and certain things inside the showroom also.
It's very nice.
Very exciting.
Very productive too.
That's right.
Have you noticed sales on the increase because of that?
Yes, we are. We're doing really a great job with sales. We've hired some new staff members.
Nice.
On that too. But having service right here also, as your person, as a salesman, I like to be able to not only sell you the vehicle, but also show you, hey, through the next 5 or 6 years while you have this vehicle or longer, here's who your service people will be. Nice. And I can take them in and introduce them to our service writers, service managers, and so forth. So
very
having
cool.
it in one roof is a lot easier. Makes my job easier too.
Very cool. Well, Tom Gerdy, we want to thank you as well for joining us from Habitat for Humanity.
I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. We're pretty excited about our event coming up on September 13th, and people need to go out and get some tickets right away and come out, because in these tough times we need to laugh more than ever, and that night's going to give us all a bunch of grins and laughs.
Very cool. And folks can learn more on the internet and also purchase tickets.
That's right. The Academy website has all the information you need to get your tickets.
All right. academycenter.org is the website. Again, we want to thank these guys. Thanks to Paul, heck of a deal, Heckman.
That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you can check out all of our videos, every one of our test drive interview videos up on our social media. It's The Mike Show VA. That's on Facebook and YouTube. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and now even MySpace. So come check us out. And you can listen to the program Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 on 93.7 KHF. Best of Bits on the Radio 434 app or at radio434.com. Check it out. For Mike, crap. Edit this, Katie. For Test Drive Interviews, this is Mike. Thanks for watching.